Top performers don't work harder. They operate by a different set of rules. I've trained, hired, and competed with them. These are the 5 rules that show up every single time. My name is Alex Sharafuddin. I've been in sales for the last 20 years, 10 years business to business in the street sales, face to face, 10 years in call centers doing phone sales. Then I started consulting sales companies across the country, salespeople across the country. And I have my own brokerage today. I'm still consulting, I'm still selling, and I'm still leading salespeople and sales leaders every single day. And in this video, I'm going to show you the 5 rules that top performers live by and die by. Rule number 1, they protect their focus. Top performers don't have more time than you. They have less distractions than you. A top performer knows what they want and they don't let anything else get in their way. They're not distracted by screen time. They're not distracted by dumb conversations. They're not distracted by negativity. They don't waste their time complaining. They're focused on what moves them forward. If you had to rate your day, the 24 hours in the day, and you counted every minute of every hour of that day, how many minutes are spent moving you forward in your goals, in your life, in your productivity, compared to how many minutes are you spending that keep you stagnant or even move you backwards? You see, top performers only have minimal, very minimal wasted time. You look at them, they're always busy. They walk in, they're focused. They get straight to their desk. They get straight to the phones. They get straight to business. They eat their lunch fast. They barely use their phone for personal reasons. They're effective with most of their day. And I think one thing that sets top performers out, and this number 1 rule of all top performers, is they're hyper-focused. You want to know how you could tell if somebody's hyper-focused on their goals? Look at them for a day and see how often are they getting distracted. If somebody's getting distracted left and right and they're not really focused on what's moving them forward, they're not hyper-focused on their goals. They think they are, but their priorities are not straight. Top performers are always focused, and that's the number 1 rule for top performers. Average performers scroll when they're bored. Top performers get uncomfortable and execute when they're bored. That's a great one. When average people are bored, they find more time to waste doing things that don't help them. When top performers get bored, they get uncomfortable. They call old leads. They go through their phone book to find more business. They call and ask for referrals. They'll dial the same person a 4th round for the day. They do things that the average won't do because they have extra time and they don't want to waste it, so they do more things that move them forward. Rule number 2, top performers have rituals and habits that make them successful, and they simply don't drop these rituals and habits. You know, in Scarface, Frank was easy to assassinate because he was at the same place at the same time every single week. I always said if you wanted to assassinate me, you would find me at the same drinking fountain at the same time every single day filling up my glass bottle. Because I do the same exact things every single day. And top performers do these same exact things every single day that make them successful. Whether that's a morning ritual and working out in the morning, if it works for them, they keep it going. Or getting in the office and clearing their emails and texts and sending out a blast to their prospects. If it works for them, they do it every single time. Or leaving notes in a client profile, they'll do it every single time. Or having a ritual of calling their new leads and hot leads and then their cold leads and warm leads, like the order of operations, they find a formula that works and they do it all the time. Average people come in and they wing it every single day.
Like, one day I'll try this. One day it's okay if I start this time. One day it's okay if I wake up this way. One day it's okay if I forget to do this. One day it's okay if I do this. One day it's okay.
Like, no, it's not okay. It's not okay every single day to switch things up. It's okay if you're trying to find what makes you successful and then stick to it. But if you're not trying to find anything and you're just running off the hip, it's not going to work. And if you know a top performer, you know they typically do the same things over and over again because the same things work. So audit yourself and figure out what works for you inside of your life and business, and how could you make that a habit every single day, a non-negotiable habit that you never ever drop. Rule number 3, top performers execute before they feel ready. I'm going to say that again. They execute before they feel ready. I have this salesperson that's joining my team, great salesperson, and they want to wait till everything's perfect for them to start. They want to have all of their licenses in order and have this many licenses. They want to have this much money to spend for this much leads. They want to have the perfect desk, the perfect computer, the perfect chair. They want to wait until they get all their personal errands out of the way. They're waiting for perfection. They're waiting for them to feel like it's the right time. And top performers create the right time every single day. Meaning nothing has to be perfect. I'm going to execute and I'm going to get it to perfection eventually. And you know how you get something to perfection? You start, you go, and you start doing it. Top performers don't wait for confidence. They understand that confidence is a side effect of taking action. So are you taking action or are you just doing it when you feel good? I see so many people that walk in a day and their life might not be going good outside of the walls of their business. And they come in and they're slumping in. And they're leaning in their chair. And they're kind of just going with the motions. Do you think these people are top performers? Of course not. Top performers realize they have to execute, they have to perform regardless of how they feel. Every single time I got up at 4:30 in the morning to go to the gym at 5 in the morning, it never ever felt great. I never got out of bed and said, yes, 4:30 in the morning. It's time to go work out. It's time to take an ice bath after. It's time to sweat in the sauna until I get dizzy. I've never ever been excited to do that. You know when I'm excited? When I walk out of the gym after completing all those activities, I feel accomplished. I feel accomplished and I tell myself, good work, Ace. You went to the gym today and you didn't want to go. You hated yourself for it. You fought against the snooze. You were upset in the mirror when you were washing your face. You slammed the door in the car. You said, this workout, but you got it done. Similar in sales. I come in a day and I might have a storm going on in my life outside of my job, outside of my career, outside of my business, but I come in here and I perform. People are like, man, you had a great day. Man, this guy's positive. Man, this guy has a great life. Little do they know I might have a hurricane going on outside, but as a top performer, you wouldn't know that because I don't execute based on how I feel. I execute regardless of how I feel. And top performers understand this. If you're not this person and you have trouble being this person, well, how do you start being this person? A very simple way to start being a person that executes before they feel like executing is start your day off every single day by doing something you don't feel like doing. That would be the first win, fighting against friction to earn you the first stripe of the day. So for example, if you don't like taking cold showers, wake up in the morning and take a freezing cold shower. You know what that's gonna do? That's going to set you up for positive momentum of doing what you don't feel like doing, but doing it because you know it counts. If you don't feel like dialing, dial right away. If you don't feel like jumping in the pool, jump in the fucking pool. This is key for top performers. If you want to be a top performer, start getting uncomfortable and do all the things that you usually don't do and that you usually shy away from. Do those things first. Do them often. They will become habits and you will get used to executing. Rule number 4 of top performers: they control their environment. They don't let their environment control them. Look, your environment is either training you to win or your environment is training you to lose. So if you look at any top performer, as a matter of fact, tell me a top performer you know that hangs out with all negative losers. Think about it. If you do know them, please drop them in the comments and let them come to this podcast and let me figure out how they're living their life around losers that are negative and they're still a top performer, because typically top performers are disgusted by losers and negativity. And top performers like to surround themselves with positivity and winners and people that are doing just as much or more than them so they could be inspired and they could lift the lid even higher. Whether that's through listening to podcasts or watching positive movies or going to positive seminars or reading positive books or hanging out with positive people or networking in positive places, top performers understand your environment is key. And the only way to grow in your life is to find a circle that's bigger than you. Average performers, low performers, are hanging out with a bunch of low and average performers. Think about it. Name me one low performer that you know, one loser you know, And tell me if they hang out with all winners. They typically don't, because it's uncomfortable for them to hang out with winners because they have nothing in common with winners because they're a loser. So typically they find the comfort in finding losers just like them, people that complain just like them, people that are negative just like them, people that waste time just like them, people that look at top performers like they're weird just like them. They find their comfort in that. And nobody is breaking out of that comfort zone in that circle. So it stays comfortable and never grows. Therefore, they remain in this tiny little shell. Top performers break the shell, find a bigger shell, break it again and find a bigger shell, and break that again and find a bigger shell. And even myself as a top performer, if I'm in a group and I feel like nobody's lifting me higher, I'm breaking the out of that group and I'm finding the next shell of top performers. Rule number 5 of top performers, they stack wins daily, not randomly. You see, top performers don't chase motivation. They stack small, boring wins over and over again. Look, I'm talking about small wins like waking up a little earlier. I'm talking about small wins like picking up the trash off the floor. I'm talking about small wins like opening the door and smiling for somebody. I'm talking about small wins by going the extra mile on a phone call with a client. I'm talking about small wins by sending an email that could help out the team. I'm talking about small wins by picking somebody up that's not feeling well. I'm talking about small wins like working out. I'm talking about small wins like eating a salad. I'm talking about small wins like not joining and gossiping with everybody else. I'm talking about small wins like staying focused when everyone else is not focused. I'm talking about small wins like backing up their leader when nobody else is. I'm talking about small wins like actually caring about a client. All these small, tiny things that you probably don't even think about, these are little dopamine rushes to top performers. And the more small wins they accumulate, the bigger those wins get. And pretty soon that snowball of small wins turns into big wins. And top performers are addicted to winning. So whether it's small wins or big wins, they're always chewing up wins. They're like a Pac-Man eating up wins. And low performers, average performers, unfortunately, are barely getting any wins. They're not focused on wins. They leave the trash on the floor. They join the gossiping. They don't try to go the extra mile. And they get into a negative domino and a negative snowball of negative losses. And that's the truth. Momentum compounds, and you are the dictator of your momentum. So do you start off your day with positive wins that get bigger, or do you start off your day with negative losses that become bigger as well? It's all on you to decide. This isn't talent, ladies and gentlemen. This is called standards. If you want to perform at the top level, you don't need more inspiration. You need better rules. I just gave you the top 5 rules to start. My name's Alex Sharafadine. If you like this video, like, subscribe, and share it with anybody you love. We got a sales academy that's available for you to become the best sales version of yourself right now at your fingertips. We got a leadership academy, and we got a Mastering the Mortgage World masterclass. If you're in mortgages, sales, or leadership, there's something in there for you. I just gave you the 5 most relevant rules to become a top performer. Now, what are you going to do with it?